Hi, I'm Carly, and you ain't seen Muffin yet.
Hi, I'm Amanda. Give me all the donuts.
I'm telling you, I want to get the donut when you be done with it. You're such a dork. When you be done with this.
I just wanted to test out the torch. Okay, what's up? We are back in Carly's test kitchen, and we today are going to make something that I think a lot of people think is really hard because it looks really fancy, but it's actually not. So hopefully we can
Not mess
it up. But today we are making creme brulee. Ooh, we're so fancy.
Yes, I'm super excited.
Okay, so for today's recipe, you will need 2 cups of heavy whipping cream, a teaspoon of vanilla, but actually today we're going to use a vanilla bean. If you don't have a vanilla bean, vanilla extract. 6 egg yolks, a 1/3 cup of sugar, and then you need another 1/4 cup of sugar to caramelize on top when it's all done. And then you also need a kettle of hot water.
Calls for like a ramekin. So it's just a nice little dish.
Here we go. So first we have to heat up our cream and the vanilla. So I'm just gonna pour this cream into this pot here, and you only want to heat it till it's simmering, so just on medium heat, okay? And then while that's going, we also need to add the vanilla bean.
All right, we are going to slice open our vanilla bean. So for this recipe, we're using a grade A Madagascar vanilla bean. All right, so now we're over at the pot of cream, and we are going to scrape our vanilla out of the pod. This is not going as easy as I thought it would. I think it's gonna be easier to put it down and then try to scrape. Yeah, that was way easier.
And we need to start whisking this cream. You can see it's kind of like filming on the top there, so.
Oh yeah.
Well, as soon as she's done here, we're gonna start whisking it all together. Okay, so we're just gonna whisk this together, and you just want to whisk it, just mix all that vanilla in, and then when it starts to get like a slight boil, like you can see it's starting, most of that's from me whisking, but once it calms down, you'll see that it's gonna slightly start to boil. You wanna take it off. All right, next up, we are gonna take our egg yolks and our 1/3 cup of sugar, and we're gonna whisk those together for 5 minutes.
Sorry. So for the recipe, it called for 6 egg yolks. So I have 2 containers here because I'm gonna actually save the egg whites because I'll eat an omelet with it. So there's multiple ways to get egg yolks separated. The good old like typical way would be you just crack your egg open and then you would just move from one side to the next. Sometimes I do the Carly way and I just dump the whole egg in a container, and then you can just grab the yolk. See how easy it just separated, and you can just separate the egg that way. People may not like that way because you're fingering every egg yolk, then you're touching every egg yolk. And then the other option we have is I have this handy dandy egg yolk separator. And so you can just, it has a little hook here. You can just slide that on to your bowl. We can crack the egg open and you can just dump it right in. And the slots in the separator, man, it's on there tight, separates the egg white from the egg yolk. There we go. And then you just dump that in. People can see what that looks like.
We're just gonna add our sugar in there with our 6 egg yolks, and then we're gonna start whisking together. 5 minutes. Somebody set a timer. Let me just tell you a funny story. While I'm whisking for 5 minutes. So Carly, who did not read the recipe before we got here, was doubting that I knew what I was talking about. I told her we had to put the egg yolks and mix the sugar together, and off camera she's like, I don't believe you. I mean, I'm kind of doubting you. So then went and looked it up, and who was right? Oh, that's me. I'm not usually right. Hardly
Amanda,
ever.
I will admit, let me squeeze in this picture. Amanda was right. I was wrong.
Write this down in history because I am rarely right. So
Amanda was right. Oh shoot, and Carly was wrong.
oh gosh. And our foam is boiling over. We left it on slightly too long.
So we weren't paying attention.
Okay, so I've been mixing for 3.5 minutes, and it is already starting to look super, you guys can't see that, I'm gonna try a different camera, super creamy.
All right, so we're at 5 minutes of beating the eggs and sugar. So as Amanda whisks, I will slowly put this hot mixture in, and you want to stir vigorously, non-stop, because if you put a little at a time, if not, it will actually scramble your eggs, and then it will ruin all of this. Okay, so you ready to mix?
Yep, I'm going. Keep hitting the camera. Sorry.
Mix until well combined, which I'm pretty sure at this point, this is really well combined. So we did a good job. High five.
Yeah,
no scrambled eggs for us.
All right, so we have our well combined yolks, sugar, and heavy cream. I just transferred it to this Anchor brand measuring cup because it has an easy spout for pouring. So now I'm just gonna pour these in the ramekins, and then we're gonna pour the hot water in. I'm just pouring up to, like, there's a little line there. I don't know if that's correct or not, but
Yeah, I think that's what I would do.
because it doesn't really rise, right? It's
No, it
just a
doesn't rise.
custard.
But it says on the recipe she uses really shallow dishes because she said if you use too deep of a dish, it won't cool evenly.
Okay, so we have it in the ramekin. We have a pot, or not a pot, a kettle of hot water boiling, and we're just going to, we have our ramekin set in here. Now we're just gonna pour hot water on the outside of the ramekins to help them, the custard, bake and like set up. And there's no amount, like it didn't say, oh, 2 cups of boiling water. So, I mean, really, just do whatever you want.
And what we used here, I think this is an 8x8 Pyrex. So if you have more ramekins, you just need to use a bigger dish.
All right, so we have our hot water in the dish. All that's left is to put it in the oven, and you're gonna do that at 325 for 30 to 35 minutes. You're going to, when they're finished, you want the insides to be a little bit jiggly, so you have to do the jiggle test, but the outside's not jiggly.
Like always, with Team Carly and Amanda, we after we put our creme brulees in the oven, we decided to eat some food. I'm eating a giant top of potato salad. So we're eating, we're talking, and then Amanda just says, did we set a timer? How much time's left? Well, we did not set a timer, so. I'm gonna go back. I think we should go back and try to watch the video and see if we can see if there's a time on my cell phone when we took the video.
Okay, maybe that's a good idea.
Pro tip, set your timer. Don't get distracted by a giant tub of potato salad.
Oh my gosh.
We went ahead and checked the last video timestamp on the phone. 22 or 23 minutes we took these out at. And my oven always cooks a little hot, so I think it was a good time to take them out. And so we gotta do a jiggle test.
Oh, there's the middle. Yeah, it's shaking a little bit.
And I mean, here's what we'll do. We're gonna take them out too, and then we'll shake them not in the water. Be very careful doing this because, I mean, these ramekins are gonna be really hot, the hot water. So taking this in and out of the oven, please be extra cautious. You could get severely burned if like the water splashes up or you drop the pan or something. So my little midi things, whatever they're called, my little oven mitts. it was too hard to try to see if we have some jiggle. So I do have a
Towel.
kitchen towel here, but I'll tell you, through the kitchen towel, this is getting warm. So be careful doing this.
Okay.
So, oh, you can see it. Do you see that?
Yeah. So right in the middle, it's kind of jiggling, but the edges are not. So I think that's kind of what we're looking for,
But
right?
do you see how much it's moving there? I don't know if you can see in the video when I turn it.
Yes, we can see
So
that.
I think it needs to cook just a little bit longer. I think that's
Okay.
there's too much movement
Too
there.
runny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so back in they go.
We put the creme brulees back in for 5 minutes, so we did a total of 28 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead and do the jiggle test. And so again, I'm gonna be very careful trying to pick this up and hopefully not burn myself. And if you jiggle, you can see there's a little movement there. And again, you can have a little bit of movement on the jiggly test. So I think what we're gonna do is probably say that's good for our first time making these. I would rather have a little slightly undercooked dessert like this than something that's overcooked, because I think once you overcook it, and there's no saving it, and I think because now we have to put these in the refrigerator a minimum of 2 hours, so even if they are slightly undercooked, they should set up a little more in the refrigerator. We made the creme brulees 2 days ago, and you're supposed to wait 2 hours before, like a minimum of 2 hours before you try to torch the top. Well, Amanda wasn't gonna just stay here for 2 hours waiting for creme brulee, so it's been 2 days. I'm hoping the vanilla is really incorporated into the flavor of the creme brulee. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna attempt to torch these. I tried the other day. It's not as easy as I thought it was gonna be. So what I'm gonna do, we have some sugar here, and I'm just gonna try to shimmy a little on here, I guess.
Shimmy, I like the...
I'm making a mess.
Shimmy.
I'm making a mess. Okay. You know what? And then I think you can kind of move it around a little bit. It's kind of piled in there. Okay. When I tried this the other day, the edges kind of got burnt, so we'll see what happens. Oh, I'm doing really good today. Okay, it's getting a little smoky. The video I did watch says you burn a little sugar, then you put a little more sugar on, like you do it in layers.
Steps. Okay.
Yeah, but I still have some sugar in there, so I'm just gonna try to torch it again. Okay.
Okay.
And you want to be careful because, although you want to be careful that you don't hold it on there too long because you don't want to burn it. But I have been to restaurants where my creme brulee top has tasted burnt, so apparently it's acceptable. We're going to try to get the edges without burning it. I'm actually doing better than I did the other day.
You're like a professional now.
Okay.
That looks good.
Okay, I think that one's probably going to be good, right?
That looks better than the one you sent me a picture of. So good job.
Amanda is now attempting. We just found out that there is different torch settings on there. You can lower it or increase it, so wish I would have known that. Oh, look at that. Good job on your first try.
Well, I got to watch you do it first, so. Okay, I'm gonna try again.
All right. And you can always add some more sugar too.
Yeah. There's like still some in the middle. Now add some more.
And from, you know, the torch heating up the sugar, you do want it to sit when you're officially like all done torching, so it gives the sugar time to harden up and set.
It's like blowing the sugar.
It's okay. Wow, it's looking good. It's like my best Amazon purchase ever, I think.
Seriously. Whoa, it literally just caught on fire.
Oh I'll make one suggestion. Maybe if you turn it, it might be easier.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like trying to.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Trust me. I learned that yesterday or the day before.
Okay. I think I got most of the sugar
Oh my
there.
gosh, we have really bad lighting. In the camera, that looks burnt. Do you see it? It's really
Yeah.
not that dark in real life. Yeah, that looks better. So it's hard to see. Mine looks like perfection.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm gonna just, we're gonna tap it.
Oh, yours is hard.
Do you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay, quiet everybody, quiet. Oh yeah, that means the sugar did what it was supposed to.
Perfect. Okay, here we go. We burned the tops and we're ready to taste. Ooh, that sounded good. Oh, it's like super custardy.
It's actually really good.
Oh my
Look
gosh.
at us! Look at us!
This
Look
is
at us! We made delicious creme
Guys,
brulee.
we did something right.
It's delicious. It's nice and creamy.
But it tastes great. And we burnt the top like we were supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
So, cheers. Okay, a few final tips or thoughts on the creme brulee. One, this dessert looks super fancy, and it is actually super easy to make. Not intimidating. It shouldn't be intimidating at all. Very little ingredients. Takes a little time when you're putting it together, and then just cooling it is the biggest part. Torching the top, super easy, and the torch is very inexpensive on Amazon. You can also just do it in your broiler in your oven. Like, you don't have to have a torch.
It was, I think that one I bought was $12.99 on Amazon.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna try to make creme brulee a lot, it's probably worth the $13 investment.
That's right. And then right after we torched it, we ate it. And it was a little more like pudding consistency. So if you want it a little colder and firmer, after you torch it, put it back in the fridge for like an hour, let it set. And it'll be good to go, just like your favorite creme brulee at your favorite restaurant. So go try it out. Let us know what you think.